This is a super important metric. LTV is, of course, lifetime value of a customer. If we're just looking at a one-to-one sale, we go, okay, well, our ROAS, our return on ad spend, cost us $50 and we charge $39 for a box. Well, clearly we lost money on that ROAS. But when we start looking at the lifetime value and that customer represents $200, $300, $400, it changes how we perceive and how we acquire customers. So it's a important metric that we have to look at on a daily basis.
It's not enough to just take a look at your overall company LTV to CAC ratio. It's important to understand the different layers that comprise that. What channels are you running on? What campaigns? What individual ads are you looking at? Use that type of granular activity to determine what your CAC should be at a real granular level, so you could eliminate what's not performing, so you could scale up what is performing well, and then start to optimize some of those ones that are kind of in between.
All these brands have acquisitions coming from multiple channels. Where do you really see that it helps a ton to go granular? And it might be, I'm thinking something to do with the discounts.
We work with a lot of merchants that are tracking a variety of UTM parameters, and they really want to get that granular view to be able to break out those individual metrics and understand what is the LTV to CAC ratio at those individual levels. If someone's running on, let's say, a coupon site, the coupon site might be getting credit for a wide variety of sales that actually originated through an influencer campaign or some other kind of paid campaign that should be getting at least some amount of credit for it, and potentially an overwhelming majority of that credit. So really understanding those granular details is the only way to optimize marketing efforts within the subscription ecosystem.
And then finally, when you have enough customers on file, you can start looking for trigger patterns, which are indications that someone is about to cancel. And that's something that a lot of different companies can help you with. But in your own data, it can be as simple as neglecting to customize their order for the first time if they've always done it before, which can indicate they're losing interest. Or if you do have access to third-party data, it can be a dramatic decrease in spending across the board, or maybe a life change like a move or a marriage. Most often it's a combination of several things like that. But what you can do when you have that information is you can create a short-term retention offer.
People think I just want to keep my customers, but I mean, you're really emphasizing the point that it's important to know the people that aren't your customer as well. So they should be holding on to that information as they go along.
But I had to take a step back and go, what are our customers saying? And as a result, we've changed, box 2+, where we are adding a bonus item. People were feeling like the first box they got 6 items in the box. The second box and going forward was 5 items. And we kept having people say, hey, I'm missing something. And they weren't really missing anything. It was just this expectation and this value they thought they had. And so we've kind of changed our marketing and our curation. Now we add this bonus item in every box. And it's kind of a surprise and delight. They don't know what they're going to get. Sometimes we tell them, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just get something in the box. And we're just trying to keep customers feeling like, hey, this is really fun. I enjoy this experience.
Looking at data to give you a predictable analysis as to when someone might be churning so that you can get ahead of it. I think it's truly amazing because you're being proactive. We're not being reactive here to trying to save somebody. Once you've identified with that predictive analysis, what are you doing then?
So it depends again on this segment of the user. It depends why we think they're about to churn. We offer different incentives to the different segments. So say, for example, we might think that you have too many samples at this point. What we do is actually we proactively advise you to pause the subscription.
So crazy, so smart. You're like, why would I want to encourage my subscriber to pause now instead of getting paid? But the data is telling you they're more than likely going to cancel anyway, so let's be proactive. You're giving offerings to individuals before they cancel that in some case, like you said, put them into an annual, which is now just put LTV through the roof, and others that are just keeping them on for longer. I think it's so smart.
Fun fact here, those customers who have purchased at least one add-on have 20 to about 50% higher lifetime value. It's because there's 2 things happening. One, they're obviously spending more because they're buying an add-on. And in addition to that, they're more baked into your brand. They're more washed over with your brand. They're more invested. And therefore, they keep their subscription around longer.
Tell me how this has an effect on LTV and CAC.
Lifetime value of the customer is a function of how much revenue you get over a period of a lifetime. And if you're churning 11% every set of payments, your lifetime value is going to drop dramatically. Closing out that number and changing that number changes the lifetime value enormously. And the customer acquisition cost as well. I mean, just every payment is going to cost you less. The customer acquisition cost is also related to the preference. So if you're not offering what they're paying, then you're not even going to capture that customer. Right, so we're not going to replace credit cards. We're saying we're an option alongside them. Let the customers choose, and then you can A/B test it thereafter, and you can decide